He who engages you conquers you. Elizabeth Kenny. What if I told you that the ultimate power over anyone who wrongs you isn't in shouting back, proving them wrong, or even seeking revenge, but in simply walking away? Imagine this. Someone betrays your trust, someone disrespects your time, or someone underestimates your worth. Most people react impulsively, letting anger control their actions. But what if the real victory lies in restraint, in silence, in leaving them behind? Welcome to a journey through Stoic philosophy, where we uncover the art of walking away, not as weakness, but as the sweetest form of revenge. In this video, we'll explore 5 moments where stepping away doesn't just protect your peace, it elevates you above the chaos and frustration of others. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable strategies that anyone in any walk of life can apply today. By the time you watch till the very end, you'll not only understand the profound wisdom of the Stoics, but you'll also be armed with tools to transform conflict, disappointment, and betrayal into silent victories. So, stay with us, because mastering this subtle power could change the way you navigate every relationship, challenge, and confrontation in your life. Number 1, walking away preserves your peace of mind. Walking away preserves your peace of mind in ways that are deeper and more profound than any momentary victory could ever offer. When you choose to leave a situation, a conflict, or even a toxic relationship, you're not running away. You're reclaiming control over the most valuable thing you possess, your inner calm. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves that no external event has power over the mind unless you allow it. Said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. When you walk away, you revoke the authority that others have over your emotions. You refuse to let their words, actions, or expectations dictate your mental state. Think about it. Every argument, every confrontation, every situation where you feel wronged, what do they really cost you? Not them. You're the one who pays the toll in stress, anger, sleepless nights, and regret. By walking away, you cut that chain. You allow yourself to breathe, to reset, to step back and observe rather than react. Silence, movement, space, these are not acts of weakness. They are deliberate, strategic choices that protect the most sacred part of your life. Your clarity, your composure, your ability to think and feel on your own terms. Here's a practical exercise for you. Next time you feel your blood pressure rising, your jaw tightening, or your chest clenching in frustration, pause. Inhale deeply, hold it, and visualize stepping back physically or mentally. Picture the situation shrinking in importance as you take each step away. Feel the weight of control returning to your own hands. This isn't avoidance. This is mastery. This is a daily practice that teaches your mind to value peace over the illusion of being right. The beauty of walking away is that it shifts the power. Others may expect you to fight, to argue, to beg for recognition or justice. But when you refuse, when you remove yourself entirely from the chaos, you quietly assert something far stronger. You demonstrate that your happiness and mental stability are non-negotiable. Epictetus famously said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." What's in your power is your choice. Your choice to step away, to disengage, to reclaim your equilibrium. To integrate this into your daily life, start noticing the small irritations that gnaw at you. A harsh comment, a slight injustice, a disagreement that could spiral into drama. Practice stepping back, even for a moment. Pause before responding, take a breath. Ask yourself, do I want to surrender my calm over this? Most of the time, the answer will be no. With repeated practice, walking away becomes instinctive. It becomes your first line of defense, your unspoken shield against unnecessary stress and emotional depletion. Imagine the freedom of living a life where your peace is untouchable, where you move through the world with quiet confidence, unshaken by provocations or petty conflicts, where walking away isn't a loss but a victory, a reaffirmation that you value yourself above chaos. This is not merely strategy, it's philosophy in motion. It's stoicism made tangible. Your calm becomes magnetic. Your presence speaks volumes. Others may wonder why you don't react, why you don't fight back, but the truth is you've already won. You've preserved what no one else can take from you, your inner peace. So start practicing today. Notice, pause, and step away. Feel the weight lifting. Feel the clarity returning. Let walking away become not an act of retreat but a declaration of strength. Let it be the sweetest revenge of all. Number 2, it demonstrates self-respect and boundaries. Walking away is more than just a physical act. It's a declaration, loud and clear, that you value yourself and your boundaries. When you remove yourself from situations, people, or conflicts that chip away at your dignity, you're not being weak or avoiding the problem. On the contrary, you are asserting your self-respect with quiet, undeniable authority. Think about it. How often do we allow our time, energy, or peace to be hijacked by others simply because we feel obliged to respond? The Stoics teach us that we are the guardians of our own minds. Reminds us, reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. Walking away embodies this principle perfectly. You're not engaging in the drama. You're choosing your own mental and emotional well-being over someone else's attempts to control or provoke you. Choosing to walk away is an act of boundaries in motion. It communicates more about your character than any heated argument ever could. You are telling yourself and the world that your limits are non-negotiable, that your inner peace is a priority, and that your energy is not up for grabs. This requires practice, because in the moment, your impulses may push you toward confrontation, toward proving a point, toward trying to change someone else's mind. But true mastery, the kind the Stoics urge you to cultivate, comes from restraint, from understanding that some battles are not yours to fight. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Every time you walk away instead of reacting, you are exercising that mastery. You are practicing freedom. Here, something you can start doing immediately. Notice the situations that trigger frustration, resentment, or discomfort. Before responding, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, will engaging honor my peace or will it drain me? If the answer leans toward drain, choose to step back. Walk away physically if possible or retreat internally if not. Feel the power in that choice. Visualize your boundaries as a protective shield that you can raise or lower at will, not to isolate yourself, but to preserve the integrity of your mind and soul. Over time, this habit transforms you. People begin to recognize the unspoken authority you carry. Your silence and withdrawal become more impactful than any words could ever be. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up or avoiding responsibility. It's a strategic move. It's an expression of self-respect that demands recognition, first from yourself and eventually from others. When you disengage from toxicity, you're also creating space for clarity and focus. You're allowing your mind to reset, to evaluate situations with calm judgment rather than impulsive emotion. That's the essence of Stoic philosophy, to live in accordance with reason and virtue rather than reacting blindly to circumstance. The act of walking away turns a moment of potential humiliation or conflict into one of empowerment. To make this a daily practice, start with small acts of withdrawal. Step back from a conversation that's getting heated, leave an environment that feels draining, or refrain from responding to messages that provoke unnecessary stress. Each time you do, notice how your sense of self-worth strengthens. Reflect on the fact that boundaries are not walls to isolate you. They are lines drawn to protect the sanctity of your peace. Soon, Walking away will stop feeling like sacrifice and start feeling like sovereignty. It becomes second nature, a quiet but unshakable affirmation of who you are and what you will not tolerate. Remember, walking away is not a sign of surrender. It is the sweetest revenge because it puts you above the chaos. It lets you preserve your dignity, your energy, and your focus, while others are left to grapple with the consequences of their actions. Make this your practice. Make it your power. Own it, and watch how your life begins to reflect the strength of your self-respect. Number 3. It deprives toxic people of control over your emotions. When you choose to walk away, especially from toxic people or situations, you are doing something far more powerful than most people realize. You are taking back control over your own emotions. Think about it. So often, the people who hurt or manipulate us feed off our reactions. They thrive on our anger, our frustration, our need to defend ourselves. Every argument, every outburst, every frantic attempt to make them understand gives them exactly what they want: control. But when you walk away deliberately and calmly, you cut that power at its root. You refuse to let someone else's negativity dictate how you feel. You are no longer their puppet, you are your own master. Wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By walking away, you choose the colors of your soul, not theirs. You refuse to let their chaos taint your peace. This isn't just about leaving physically. It's about stepping away mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Every time you feel triggered, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Does engaging with this person help me grow, or does it merely feed their need to control me? By practicing detachment, you start to see the truth. Toxic behavior is a reflection of their own inner turmoil, not a reflection of your value. You have the choice to not internalize their storm. Walking away is not giving up. It is claiming the highest ground, a place where you remain untouched by their attempts to manipulate your feelings. To make this real in your daily life, practice the small exercises of emotional sovereignty. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause, take a slow breath and silently repeat, I control my mind. I choose my response. Feel the weight of those words sink in. Let them act as armor. Visualize the toxic energy bouncing off of you, unable to penetrate the calm fortress of your own making. Notice how much lighter you feel, how much freer you become when you refuse to participate in their attempts to pull you into negativity. Over time, this becomes instinctive. Walking away isn't just a reaction, it's a statement. It is saying, without words, that your peace, your focus, and your emotional health are non-negotiable. Stoicism reminds us that external events are outside our control, but our minds are ours alone. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By walking away, you are actively shaping your reaction. You are refusing to hand over your inner calm to someone else's chaos. Every step back is a reclaiming of power, a conscious choice to let go of what doesn't serve you. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, and the less any toxic person can affect you. Their insults, manipulations, and provocations lose their grip. They may try, but without your energy to feed it, their power diminishes. Here's a practical habit to integrate this into your life. When you sense someone trying to manipulate your emotions, literally take a small physical step back. Breathe. Center yourself. Picture a door closing between your mind and their attempts at control. Remind yourself that walking away is not defeat, it is strategy. Every time you do this, you reinforce the habit of emotional independence. You strengthen the invisible muscle of self-command. You become a person who refuses to be tossed about by the whims of others, who is grounded in their own values, their own peace. Remember, real power is quiet. It doesn't need to shout or prove anything. It simply exists. Walking away allows you to cultivate that quiet, to nurture your inner fortress. Toxic people may rage. They may try to lure you back in, but you remain serene, untouchable. You have taken the ultimate revenge, not through confrontation, but by simply refusing to hand over your power. Each time you step away, you remind yourself, your emotions are yours, your peace is yours, and no one has the authority to take them from you. Number 4, it turns inaction into a powerful statement. There's a quiet kind of power in walking away, a force that doesn't shout, doesn't plead, and doesn't beg for attention. When you choose to step back instead of reacting, you're turning inaction into a statement louder than any argument, sharper than any insult. The world often mistakes stillness for weakness, but the Stoics knew better. Reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. When you walk away, you aren't running. You are asserting your own values, your own peace, and your own sovereignty. You are showing, without a word, that your energy and attention are precious and will not be squandered on chaos or negativity. Imagine the impact of this choice. In a moment where anger, frustration, or betrayal tugs at your instincts, the instinctive reaction is to lash out, to engage, to prove yourself right. But every word you don't speak, every step you refuse to take into the drama, is a brick in the fortress of your inner strength. Silence becomes your ally, inaction becomes your armor. Walking away communicates something unavoidable. You are above pettiness, you are centered, and you will not be controlled by someone else's choices. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Walking away is mastery in motion. It's self-command manifested in the real world, an unspoken declaration that your equilibrium is non-negotiable. You can practice this right now, starting small. Notice moments in your day where irritation, provocation, or confrontation sparks an immediate urge to react. Instead of giving in, pause, take a deep breath, step back physically or mentally. Feel the power in simply not engaging. Visualize the situation as a stone skipping across a pond. The ripples pass, but the stone keeps moving untouched. The longer you allow yourself to practice this, the more natural it becomes and the more profound the effect. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're reinforcing a habit that reshapes the way others perceive you and the way you perceive yourself. Walking away isn't about avoidance. It's about choosing where to invest your energy. When you resist the impulse to prove a point or retaliate, you redirect your focus to what truly matters: your growth, your peace, your vision for yourself. Think of it as planting seeds of quiet authority. People may misinterpret your silence at first, but over time, the impact becomes unmistakable. They begin to see that the person they expected to react with anger or defensiveness simply doesn't exist anymore. You've replaced reaction with reflection, conflict with clarity, and chaos with calm. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you feel compelled to engage in a petty argument or defend yourself unnecessarily, literally step away. Walk to another room, go for a short walk, or close your eyes for a moment. Let the urge pass. Reflect silently on your ability to remain composed, and remind yourself that your choice not to act is not emptiness, it's deliberate power. Each act of walking away reinforces your autonomy, your control, and your dignity. Over time, it becomes instinctive, a part of who you are, and the effect is transformative. You are not conceding, you are commanding, you are not weak, you are unshakable. Inaction, when wielded intentionally, becomes a tool sharper than any confrontation. You communicate strength, self-respect, and freedom without a single word. Walking away is the ultimate declaration that you answer to no one but yourself, that your energy is yours to protect, and that your peace cannot be stolen. Let this principle guide you. Make walking away a habit, a reflex, a signature move that leaves more impact than any furious response ever could. Let inaction be your loudest, clearest statement. Number 5, it reflects inner strength and emotional mastery. Walking away, truly walking away, is one of the most powerful things you can do. Not because it's dramatic or loud, but because it shows a mastery of yourself that others rarely see. In the heat of conflict or confrontation, your mind screams to react, to prove something, to reclaim control. But here's the truth. Real strength isn't in proving yourself to anyone else. Real strength is in knowing your own value and refusing to let someone else's actions dictate your peace. Reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When you step back instead of lashing out, you're living that truth. You're showing, without a single word, that you are bigger than the moment, bigger than the insult, bigger than the chaos others try to pull you into. It reflects an inner calm, a quiet authority that is impossible to fake. When you walk away, you are saying to yourself, and silently to the world, that your emotions are yours to govern. You're not a puppet to the whims of anger, jealousy, or frustration. You're not trapped in someone else's narrative. Every step you take away from the conflict is a step deeper into self-mastery. And the more often you practice this, the more it becomes second nature, like breathing. Stoic philosophers believed that freedom comes not from controlling the world, but from controlling your own mind. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Walking away is a tangible act of that mastery. To make this a habit, start with small moments. The next time someone irritates you, try simply pausing. Don't answer immediately. Don't react. Take a breath and feel the impulse to respond. Then imagine stepping away, not literally necessarily, but mentally withdrawing from the drama. Notice how that small choice shifts your energy. You are no longer tangled in the fight. You are observing it. You are sovereign over your mind. This isn't about avoidance or weakness. It's about strategy. It's about choosing battles that serve your growth rather than feeding your ego. Think of every time you've been provoked. How often did reacting immediately give you peace, and how often did it only prolong the tension? Walking away is a deliberate refusal to be drawn into cycles of anger and resentment. It's saying, "I will not sacrifice my inner tranquility for the sake of temporary satisfaction." That in itself is a form of revenge far than any words you could speak, because it's lasting, subtle, and undeniable. Now imagine practicing this consistently. You begin to notice that your emotional life becomes calmer, clearer, more intentional. You carry a quiet confidence that others sense instinctively. When someone tries to provoke you, it bounces off because it no longer touches the core of who you are. You are walking in control, moving through life with intention rather than reaction. Each choice to step back strengthens your emotional resilience. Each refusal to be drawn into unnecessary conflict adds to your inner fortitude. Here's a simple exercise. Set aside 5 minutes every day to visualize a situation where someone might test your patience. Picture yourself responding in 2 ways. First, reacting immediately, and second, stepping away calmly. Feel the difference in your body, in your mind. Notice the weight lifted when you choose the latter. Over time, this visualization trains your mind to prefer self-mastery over instinctive reaction. Walking away is an act of power. It is a statement that your inner world matters more than external chaos. It's a quiet victory that no one can take away. When you practice it, when you make it a habit, it reshapes not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. You become untouchable, serene, and in full control of the only thing that truly matters: your mind, your peace, and your life. And remember, as Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of power, control, and self-respect. Every time you choose to step back instead of reacting, you reclaim your peace and take the higher ground. If you found yourself nodding along to these 5 moments when walking away is the sweetest revenge, imagine how applying them in your own life could change everything. So, don't just watch. Practice the art of stepping away, and let silence speak louder than words ever could. If this video inspired you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe for more life-changing Stoic wisdom. And remember, true power often lies in knowing when to walk away.